Are we live?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, another lovely Facebook update right before we go live. So welcome to those of you that are joining me for the first time. My name's Kat, and I want to welcome you to Kat's Creations, where in my kitchen, we design beautiful things for your front door or for your home. So tonight we are going to change. So if you saw the post earlier today, I said I was going to do a design around this sign. But then I saw this sign in my stash, and all the ribbon I had already cut kind of went with this one. So I was like, okay, I'm seeing the design. So generally when that happens, I just kind of go with that. So we'll save this one for a different time. So we're going to do the watercolor Hello Spring Bunnies. We're still doing all the natural elements. So we're not going to do eggs. We're not going to do like an Easter theme, but we're definitely going to incorporate some bunnies. So we're going to be using the jute burlap, Deco mesh, some artificial florals with tulips, lilies, and lavender. And let me take care of the housekeeping stuff before we actually start. So if this is your first time, let us know. We'd like to welcome you. A lot of times you make connections on an actual Facebook Live and find people that are in the same city or state you're in. So let us know. Hi, I'm new. I'm from Victorville, California, because you'll find other people that will reach out to you and connect. If you like this design and want to replicate it, once you get all the materials together, just simply click the share button. The share button, I'll share it to your Facebook page, and then that way you have the tutorial ready whenever you're ready to put together your design or something similar. Let's see. If you want to be notified when I go live, make sure you click the like and follow button on this page. Rumor has it the like button may be going away, so make sure you do both, and then from that point you can actually go into your notifications and change it from the default, and I think it's highlights, and then you'll be notified whenever we go live. Now YouTube subscribers, totally different for you. When you want to be notified when we're adding a new video, we will be at some point doing YouTube lives as well. But for now, just click the ring, the little bell in the upper right hand corner that subscribes you to the channel, and then that way you're notified whenever we upload new videos. Okay, so we did like, follow, share, YouTube new. Couple announcements, and I know you guys are you might not know. At the end of this month, the Kat's Creations private group that I run, we're increasing the rates. So starting February 1st, it goes from 17 a month to 27. So if you want to get in now while it's still 17, you can do that. Keep in mind that just because the rates go up in February, once you're locked in at your rate never changes as long as you maintain current membership. If you leave and come back, it would be at the regular rate, whatever the going rate's going to be. Also, if you like the idea of putting together a kit, like kind of one-on-one, like I give you the list of all the materials, and you want to join us and actually create something like the wreath tonight, we just launched 2 days ago the Wreath of the Month Club. So for the month of February, if you want to join that group, it is $10 a month. And what $10 a month gets you is you get the instructions with all the SKU numbers of all the items that we're going to be using, where it came from, how long to cut your mesh, how long to cut your tails, where we get the sign, and then you get an option to purchase the kit. So right now the kit for February is going to be an Easter kit. It's a Easter religious kit, so it features a cross and a lamb, and it's going to come with 2 rolls of, I want to say 10-inch Deco mesh, 30 feet in each roll. You'll get the sign, which, and all of the stuff is exclusive. So exclusive sign. I don't know about the Deco mesh color because the blue I have not seen before. And then we're going to be incorporating a roll of 2.5-inch ribbon and then 2.5-inch ribbon, but they're 20-yard rolls. So instead of like these rolls, they're going to be double. So in a sense, you're getting 6. And then based on whatever design we choose, you'll have more than enough to make at least 2 of the designs. You just have to purchase another sign, or you can save your materials and then incorporate a different design using the colors that we have. So if you want information on that, I have a new page now. It's called Kat's Creations Wreath of the Month page. If you go there, it contains all the information you need to sign up. So you pay the $10, and then in the group, you can actually see the ribbons and the sign and the colors and all that stuff. And then you have an option to purchase the kit. Like I said, it's $75, including shipping. You don't have to purchase the kit. You might just want to sit through it and watch the tutorial the first time around. What the $10 does, besides give you the list and all the materials, is you get the link to the video. So let's say, for example, you're done, after 3 months in the group, those links go with you. So you can go back in and watch those videos at any time. So you're kind of getting a tutorial with it. So that's it for that. And if you want information about the private group, which is design and business together, we do 4 design tutorials every Sunday at 3 Pacific, 5 Central, 6 Eastern. And then on Mondays, we do our business class. So right now we're doing what's called Facebook 2.0. So everyone started their Facebook business pages. And then now here's some other stuff that you can do with your Facebook business page. So those you'll find at Kat's Creations, the letter N, the word more.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and then Steve said he pinned it. So he pinned it to the bottom, so you can just click there. And then scroll to the bottom, and then all the information is there to sign up. Okay. And I'm done, right? Okay, so you're going to tell me that there's people there while I'm pulling out my tablet.
Yep. A lot of gals. 2 minute posts.
2 minutes.
Gail said I'm awake. Courtney, Kathleen,
Wow.
Stormy, Lolly, Karen, Camille, Kathy,
Got it.
Sue, Carol. So welcome everybody. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah. So
Molly Flannery's on. Hi Molly.
let's get started. So today in our private group, we talked about the jute burlap mesh and the fact that you cannot cut this with a wood burning tool. So the question came up in the group is, what can you do with the fraying? So 2 things. You can do a cruffle method, which allows you to fold or roll in the corners, because it's only going to fray where it's cut. So that's going to be on the sides. So the top and the bottom of the roll is finished edge, so it shouldn't unravel. So you can do the cruffle method. That helps contain the cut edges, or you can use E6000, which is a spray adhesive. So once you complete your design, you just take this, you'll go outside because it's sticky and when it dries, and then just spray everything, paying close attention to the edges of the Deco mesh. And then this will help adhere that product or the little natural fibers and help keep them in. So that is another option you have to reduce the amount of fraying. So on this design, we're going to be doing ruffle, but before we do that, we need to finish wiring in this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I've done 5 sections, so we're going to wire the 6th section the same way I've done all of the others. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner, using your weld marks. You're going to come in between both of those. It's easier if I always do it from the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to put that right in the middle of those 2 welds, and you're going to wire the 2 innermost rings together. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I just did the 2 on the inside. And then we're going to do the same on the outside. So from here and here, we're going to find a middle ground, and then we're also going to do it here as well. And I just color code my pipe cleaners. Sometimes it looks pretty that way. Sometimes it helps me to focus if I'm changing Deco mesh colors, then I know which ones I'm going to be changing and which ones go where, or to coordinate my ribbon. So there we go. We're all set and ready to go. These are cut to 20-inch pieces. So we're just going to scrunch or ruffle these. So I'm trying to get this one to unravel. And then I place these, the finished edge to the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right on my inner one, my inner pipe cleaner. And because I know I am not going to need the inner 6, I'm going to go ahead and remove those as I get to them and just cut them off. So wiring it up this way, you get 6 on the inside, 12 on the outside for a grand total of 18. Because the sign is a 12-inch sign, it's really going to take care of all the interior ones for me. Okay. So do you guys have any questions about this mesh, the method, wiring the frame? You can tell which ones are closer to the end of my roll. Are you watching?
Yeah.
You reading? No comments?
Yeah, but just saying hi, Ken, Steve. Hey guys, hi everyone.
Okay.
Julie's on. Hi, Julie.
Because we
A
had
lot of
issues.
first timers saying, I'm just saying welcome.
Yeah, we had an issue right before we went live, and I was like, oh, good Lord, not again, Facebook.
Yeah.
So, they keep us on our technical toes.
Had to delete the app and then reinstall the app.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Trust me. Facebook keeps us on our toes with technology, but in all honesty, sometimes you just want to tap out and say, not today. Not today. And today was one of those days. Not today, please. So we'll get this done pretty quick. And so I just do, as I'm going around the frame, I do whatever pipe cleaner I come to next. That's just something I've done. And then I'm just snipping off the pipe cleaner and then just kind of tucking that back to the inside. And as you see, I'm taking my cut edges and I'm kind of flipping them under so they're not so exposed to the top.
So Virginia asks, why the edge to the center and not reverse? It's the finished edges that are going to the center and to the outside.
Right.
So the cut edges are on the sides, so which nobody ever really touches.
Yes. So we don't want the customer to touch the cut side because that's where it's going to fray. So if we put those to the inside, so they're kind of going sideways, they're not going to touch those. So here and here, no frays are going to occur.
So the Dollar Tree wreath form has 6 sections on that 14-inch.
Mm-hmm.
You do 3 pipe cleaners in each section. 1 on the inner 2 in the center, and then on the outer 2, you do 2 within that section. So 6 times 3 is 18, so it's a total of 18 pipe cleaners.
Thank you, Steve.
There's a couple guys saying so confused kind of how to do it. They're probably newer, so.
Or just new.
Or just new, yeah. And she uses this as her base way of doing all of her wreaths most of the time.
Yeah. You'll see this year we will be using different forms. I'm trying to finish all the Easter and spring so that I can get into, God, we have so many to do for spring. A lot of spring florals. We're going to be trying to incorporate those, the new forms that are coming out this year. The hoops and the floral rings. Yep. So you should start seeing those too.
And Colleen, she likes doing different color wire stems. She kind of likes to color coordinate because her colors are going to be the purple, white, and the beige.
Mm-hmm.
So she just likes to kind of color coordinate. You don't have to. You can keep them all one color if you wanted to.
Yeah. That, like, people always ask, you know, why do you color coordinate? Or is there a point to that? Mm-hmm. Sometimes there is. So if I was doing 3 different color mesh, and I was doing a tan, a white, and a purple, I would just follow whatever pipe cleaner I had where it was so that they're all pretty much evenly, you know, dispersed around the form. Here, it's just, it looks pretty. Like Steve says, I don't need to do it.
Camille asked Steve, could you pen how to join the Wreath of the Month Club? I'm having a hard time finding. Thank you.
So just go, you're going to have to go off of this page.
Go off of the video and just go into the regular Cats Creations page.
Well, that's where they're at.
Right.
you could do it one of two ways. You can either go to, we created a Kat's Creations Wreath of the Month business page. So you can find that, and then I've pinned it right to the very top. It's the very first post in that group. Or like Steve says, you can go back, get out of this video. The pinned post at the top of this page is also for that group. And then you're going to have to click into that post to see both links. So there's a link to sign up for the payment part, just for the $10. And then there's a link to get into the private Facebook group. And then you'll just have to request.
It's on Facebook. It's just on her regular page, which is the page you're on now, Kat's Creations.
Yep, it's right at the top.
And Lynetta, don't be so concerned about the E6000. When you spray it, it's a clear glue. Even if you get a little bit on your ribbon tails, you'll never see it.
Yeah, it dries completely clear.
Dries completely clear. I mean, your main focus is to spray, obviously, the Deco mesh if you want, but
that's really where I focus. Yeah, so if I'm going to spray the adhesive spray, a lot of times, like if I was doing this one, what I would do is like right here on these edges, the edges that I could see, I would just spray the whole outside, even if it's on top of the mesh or on top of the ribbon or on top of the floral. Like Steve says, you just go ahead and spray it. You're never going to see it. It's not colored. It's kind of, it's like Elmer's glue, but liquid. Right. That's what it smells like anyway. But you'll want to do it outside just because it's an adhesive. So you don't want to spray this, on your cutting mat, because then you might have your Deco mesh wanting to stick to the mat.
Ellie said, how much do you know how to sell the wreaths for?
What do you mean?
How do you know how much to sell the wreaths for? So it's basically, is it your material times 3? Is it maybe your material?
Yeah, so
depends.
I'm looking at who posted that question.
Ellie? Proctor?
Yeah. So there is a worksheet in the private group under the files section. It's a wreath pricing worksheet, and you can just work off of that. You're going to factor in all the materials, what your cost is. So in this case, I used an entire roll of the jute mesh. So you're going to calculate that. You'll calculate how much you spent in your sign, how much ribbon you used, how much your florals were. I'm trying to think of what else. And then you're going to have to make a determination of where your pricing structure is going to be. Some people double their materials cost, some people triple. So it's entirely up to you. Sometimes if I'm doing like $45 in material, I have a really hard time charging 3 times that amount. Other people have no issue with that. I do. It feels a little too high.
Thanks, Gail. So Gail posted the link to your group.
Thank you, Gail. You were the bomb.
Right below Camille's post.
Thank you for doing that.
Deborah, yep, she's still using 18 pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
For Chanel stems, yep.
Seems like I have way more Deco mesh than I need. Because I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 within here, so who knows? We were doing a demo and I was cutting this, and so I just was cutting, not counting. So we'll see. If not, it'll get thrown in another design. Yeah, can you say Cat way over cut by like, I only have 3 pipe cleaners and 5 pieces of mesh left.
Well, you're in the private group. You were going and cutting the same
I know, but I try not to do that.
Linda, they're cut at 20 inches.
For these to be ruffled,
Yes.
And we talked about that in the private group. Why am I doing ruffles tonight and not cruffles, which is what I originally planned on doing? Because believe it or not, I have more mesh in the other room, all cut for cruffle size, and it's just the beige for the other side because it has that brown and pastels in it. So what was I thinking? We were doing Ruffles. Why did Cal come up so? Oh, why did I not do Ruffles in this method? Is because our sign, and I'll show you here in a second. Knowing that this is going to take up, think about it. We have a 14-inch wreath frame and a 12-inch sign, 12-inch round. So if we were to do Ruffles, let's say this is a ruffle, right? It's curls with a ruffle. All you would see on the outside of the sign is all of these weird ruffle shapes. And I don't think that that would look aesthetically pleasing. It would just look like it was all like crushed and flattened. So I was like, okay, redo.
Yep. So Linda, one roll is plenty enough to do 18 pieces of 20 inches. Although what Kat says is you can do them at like 19 and a half. That way, by the time you get to the very last piece, you should have more than enough. But
oh yeah,
360 inches is 10 yards.
Exactly.
So.
Sometimes, and it's weird, lately what I've been noticing sometimes, I don't know about you guys, is when I go, and these just came off an extra spare roll anyway, it seems like I'm coming up short more than I should be. So I just don't know how they're winding them. So what I do now is like the first 6, like Steve says, I might cut it 19 and a half, and then the rest I'll do at 20. And then I know I'll wind up with more than enough. So now, go ahead.
Courtney asked, did you say where the sign is from?
This sign came from Craft Outlet, but it's sold out for the season. So don't know where you might still be able to find it. Because I bought this at Christmas time. I saw it, you know, like when you go on Craft Outlet site, there's what's new. This was in their what's new. So I was like, oh, that's pretty. I'll order that. So what I'm going to do, it has 2 holes at the top where it had a little burlap string on it, but those are not conducive to where I need to do it. I need it to be kind of off to the side. So rather than take your metal hole punch and go to the middle, it's got a lip, like a flat lip all the way around the sign. So I am just going to pop a hole in the side. So I've done it on one side. It just works better that way. It's a little thinner there. Because I was like, that's where they put the hole on the other one. So I'm just making them just a touch bigger. So I popped it twice and then made it just a little bit bigger. So now I'll go ahead and take my white pipe cleaner and get this all ready to go in, and then we'll make our bow. So there's that. Did I do this one? Yes. There we go. Okay. So that's all ready. So let's make the bow. So I prefer to use the Bow Dabra. We will be changing it and doing Pro Bow, Easy Bow Maker, just so you guys are exposed. But this was, when I started, this is what I purchased for a bow maker. Because it was affordable, not Craft Outlet. Hobby Lobby carried them. And then you can use the 40% off coupon. So colors ribboned. We're gonna do purple and white gingham. This has actually got a, it's like a clear glitter sprayed on top of it. So it's kind of like sparkly glitter. And then we're gonna do this beige and white chevron. We have the light lavender canvas. We have the lavender with the actual lavender print on this. We're incorporating the chocolate brown to pull the bunny color into the bow. And then we're going to do, what do you call it? The florals, so purple. And I think the way I want to do it, I think I'm going to do it like this. Nope. This, and that. This is how I play with what's going to go with what on my bow. So this kind of sets up the order I'm going to put it in on my bow maker. And I always save the top or the outside bow for something that's patterned or pretty instead of just regular canvas. How you set it up is entirely up to you. So we're going to dovetail cut our ends. So we're just doing wired edges together. We're going to take our scissors and go from the folded side to the point of where our ribbon is. And depending upon how deep your V, depends how far or where up you decide to place your scissors on your fold. Now I'm doing 10-inch tails, and it's going to be a 5.5-inch loop. So we're going to go ahead and do it this way. And you'll see that I constantly move my bow dabra back to my 10-yard line on my cutting mat. This way, when I pull my ribbon out, I'm like, am I at 5.5 inches? If I am, then we're good. And with this, it's always just going to be twist. Put it in between. The springs will hold it together. So we'll just make sure this one's not quite there. Need just a little bit more. There we go. And back out to 10 inches.
Well, it just depends on her design. She's asked how many feet of ribbon per color do you use for bow and the strips?
I'm trying to think, because I did this the other day. I spread it out in order to do a bow, and I'm trying to think. I did it with 3.5-inch tails. So depending upon, like, this one's probably going to be almost 3. It'll probably be 32 or 33 inches if I was to stretch this one out. So almost 3 feet. And then it'll keep coming in with each one that I do. So by the time I get to the last one, I think it's between 24 and 26 inches. It just depends on how long you want your ribbon tails to be. So this one, go ahead.
And for the outside tail, she typically does
14
inches for the 2.5. So you can do the math on that, and then 17 or 18 on the 1.5 inches.
Yeah, it's really not a lot of ribbon. It just depends. Like, I like to incorporate a lot of colors. So when I do that, I'm not using a ton of ribbon. Like the floral ribbon, since it's not going to be incorporated in any of the outside tails, it's just going to be whatever amount I put into the ribbon or to the bow. So this is 9.5-inch tail, and then 5-inch loops. So from here to here. And then we'll go back to 9.5 inches. So do you guys like the later time for the public live for Sunday? Wow, my watch is like, you're getting low on your watch battery. That means Kat did not put it on her charger correctly last night. That's what that is. I like doing the late night crafting. Because it's like a wind down. It's a wind down thing for me. Winding down from my day.
And this says I do, but we don't know how many gals, when they say yes, are you on the West Coast or East Coast or?
Yeah, where are you guys out? Do a shout out. Where are you guys from?
Steve said I like the time. Deb, Todd said yes, later is better. Beverly said yes. Linda said yes. Colleen said yes.
Because we're here in California.
Right.
So I'm curious to know where you guys are from. Because we tried to push this one a little later to try to pull more Central and West Coast people that may not have an opportunity to see us.
Linda said late night is fine. Robin Garland said Aussie, so it's super late.
Super late for you. So this
like
one.
Is it 2 a.m. in Australia?
I don't know what time it is in Australia. So 9-inch tail and then a 4.5-inch loop on the third ribbon end.
Leaves in the East Coast. A lot of y'all say Minnesota, Utah.
See? And it's weird how, like, some people like early morning, some people like late night.
Yeah.
Are you a late night person, Steve?
I used to be.
Now are you early morning? You don't even want to be early morning either. Like he doesn't like getting up in the mornings.
I'm a little bit more late night, but I mean once you get
so.
past 11, I'm pretty
You're
tired.
done?
Yeah.
He's done.
Newfoundland, 11 p.m. now, so she's on the East Coast.
Okay. I like this time. That's what Darlene says. I just didn't know the public was now on Sunday. I'm trying to.
She's trying to do 2 a week now.
I've been asked by my business coach to do more. So I was like, okay, I'll do more.
So Darlene, it's on Friday and Sunday now.
Fridays at 5, and then we go Sundays at 6, right? So this will be 8.5 for the purple. 8.5 tail and a 4.5-inch loop. This ribbon's weird because it's got a wave to it.
Grace said, hi from San Antonio, Texas. Love your color choices.
Thanks.
Candy said, love the sign.
This one was a challenge because originally it was going to be, if you look at the original sign that I had picked, it has that dark brown, but then the whole inside of the sign is all pastel. So I was like, okay, that's challenging.
Bridget's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Molly's on.
She's
in Fuquay, North Carolina.
See?
15-20 minutes.
But, I don't know.
Jill said, good time for me in California.
Good, I'm
glad.
glad.
Why I'm not seeing all the comments. Jilly, Facebook could just be weird. Sometimes I don't see all the comments either.
And we know Facebook is working on some new stuff. How many of you all got logged out? What was it, Friday? Yeah. Was it Friday, I think? Everyone got logged out of Facebook, I think on Thursday or Friday. And everyone had to log back in. And people are saying, well, it's just iPhone users, but then we were listening and people said, no, it's Android users as well. So they're doing something. Something. Yep. And I think I even posted, yes, it was weird. I mean, it completely threw, like, 1 minute I'm commenting, and then the next minute it's like, sorry, you're logged out. And then it wouldn't even let me back in with my password. I had to get a code. And I was like, what the heck is going on? This is not normal. So, okay, this one's going to be 8-inch tail with a 4-inch loop. So I'm just trying to toggle back and forth all these colors. And I love, if you're going to go solids, get 50-yard spools. You will just adore the fact that you don't have to have a whole bunch of little 10-yard spools everywhere. And then you go to pull them out, like I did. And I go to pull it out, and I'm like, hold on, let me pull. And I'm like, whoa, there's not enough ribbon.
And a lot of times you can find really good deals on 50-yard spools, like $10 for 50 yards.
Yeah. So this one's crinkle. And we're doing 8. I'd have to readjust this because it never fails. You get a splice. And thank God it wasn't in the middle of my ribbon, but I see it right here. Here's a splice. This was a fairly decent splice, like they really worked hard to get it all to go together, but I don't like to see that.
Mm-hmm. So is your private group yearly? Is that 150 right now, or it's
170?
It's 170.
Is it? Yeah, 170. So it should be 204, but right. You still get the pay for 10 months and get the other 2 free.
Carol Ziegler says she's 17 a month right now.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to go in for $150, but I can't get anything other than $17 per month. What am I doing wrong? So go back to her pinned www.KatsCreationsNMore.com. Sign up for the 170 yearly.
But that's...
And then you'll cancel her $17 a month, right?
Well, it depends.
Depends.
If you're looking to just pay the whole year in upfront,
Right.
you can do that. And like Steve says, just go there, pay for the yearly, and then I'll cancel your monthly profile, and then you'll be good. And then what I do is that is still on it's on its own locked in rate. So even if next year, when you factor in the monthly, if you wanted to renew, it would still be at the yearly renewal price that you got last time.
Right. You're locked in for whatever you bought it for.
Yeah. It's always so much fun to play with all the logistics of that. So this last one is 7.5 inch tail, and these are 3.5 inch loops. So each time I've gone down 1/2 inch, starting at 10. So it's 9.5, 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5. And then the only two that are the same are ribbons 3 and 4. They're both 4.5 inches in their loops. Oops. And then I like finishing off with this lavender ribbon. I finally found something that I wanted to use this ribbon with.
Gotcha. Thanks. I will do that. So.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, I think at Christmas time we ran, I think this is a little too long. We did do one where we dropped it down to 150, but it was just through Black Friday month. And then that went back up. Okay, let's put ribbon away. Okay, and then we'll build our bow. So I'm going to show you how to fluff. We will need, let's do purple. Purple pipe cleaner. I prefer using pipe cleaners when I'm fastening all my ribbons together, just because as we get older, the ability for us to maintain the strength we had, and it's crazy how one morning you'll wake up and you just don't have it anymore. So using a pipe cleaner is easier because that fuzzy allows you to hold on to the wire so much easier. Plus you can color coordinate those. Just like that. Okay. Board. So the board that I use is an 18 by 24 inch cutting board. It's 3/4 inch thick. These can get really expensive. Just go to Home Depot or Lowe's. In their lumber department, I've been told that Home Depot has scrap wood that they have that's available for free. So if you guys are sign makers or chalk couture people, you might want to hit up their wood supply. If not, I know Home Depot sells a 24 by 24 by 1 inch piece of wood for like $10. And that's really cheap. And then if you want, you could, put a ruler on it or do measurements, put your logo on it. So I just added a C-hook to the middle so that I can just slide my pipe cleaner in. So this kind of holds it. It'll still move, but that's okay. I just need it to not slide off the board. And I prefer a flat surface rather than an elevated. So what you're gonna do is all you're gonna do is separate tails from loops. So we're gonna start at the bottom. So here's our loop, here's our tail. We go to the opposite side, and then we have our tail here. So we're gonna pull our tail out this side and pull our loop out so that if we pick this up, our tails and our loops make an X. And then you're gonna do the same thing as you work down your ribbon roll. So here we had our tail here. We're gonna pull opposites. So that, and let's pull this to the other side. What ends up happening is now you have 2 loops, 2 tails, and then 2 loops. So now they're separating themselves from loops and tails. And then you just keep doing the same thing as you go down. I'm gonna try to get my fingers in the loops. We'll do it here. Go back to the other side. We do loop and tail. This is that weird wavy ribbon.
And so Jerry, if she said can't see what you're doing, what you were saying is in a way, you might just need to click on the phone if you're using a mobile app. Top right, you'll see 3 dots. Click on that and then turn off captions.
Oh.
And that'll turn that off so then you can see.
The closed captioning?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have some people who really like the ability to have closed captioning.
Right.
So, but you can adjust to turn it on and off.
Yep.
So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just separating loops and tails. And then once you get them all here, then you can play with placement. You know, open your loops up. And then if you want to bring back that curl in your ribbon, you just kind of take your fingers like scissors when we did curling ribbon, and that's all you're going to do. And that'll kind of put that little arc back in your ribbon. And then,
I hope so you guys know that if you're watching your mobile phone, if you're on your mobile phone vertically, you can turn it to the side horizontally and it'll expand your entire view.
Steve's the good tacky person. Okay, so there is our bow. I'm going to hold it up. There you go. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so then I'm just going to pop this off. We'll add our sign, and then we'll figure out where the bow can go. Okay. So remember we took out the 6 in the middle, so that just kind of saved us that time-saving step. So we have the option, knowing that we have a bow, if you put it right in the center, so let me show you. So if we added this right to the center, and then we have our bow, let's say for example we put it here, it could work there, but what ends up happening is where it says welcome, now our bow is impeding the wording on the sign. So we really need it to kind of be, and you can move it over here, but what I have a tendency of doing is moving the sign kind of down and to the right, and then that way I can put my bow up into the wreath a little bit more, and then we're still good. So that's what we're gonna do.
Kathy Nat, which I think she's in the private group. She asked, where is the purple flowered ribbon from?
The purple flowered ribbon.
The purple and beige?
Yeah. This came from Craft Outlet.
Craft Outlet, Kathy.
And I didn't even bother to tell you. Hold on a sec. Let me go ahead and I'll put this in and then I'll tell you where the ribbon came from. So Craft Outlet with the lavender, Kringle Designs, which has our own website. It's kringledesigns.us for the big 50-yard spool. Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet. So everything from Craft Outlet except the big spool, the 50-yard spool. And normally I do that. Normally I try to catch it. Let's see, we know we want it down and to the left. So let me kind of get this situated. I need to make sure that it actually hits our frame and not overly like, you know, get it too far over and then you're way over here on the side. I think that'll work. So let's try this. I think I might need to come down a bit. Let me move this one. That's why I don't tighten them just yet. I'm gonna move it over and down a bit.
I said, can you show the lavender that is on the top closer? The lavender, I'm assuming it's on the side, right?
No, I know it's just, yeah. Hang on just 1 second. Let me put this in. Okay. Down and to the right. So this is the ribbon.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's got little spring things. So it's got greenery and then purple and kind of like a pink.
Yeah.
So that's the ribbon.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so now what I like to do is all that mesh that is underneath, not all of it entirely, but.
Everything I will mean. So Linda, I hope that gave you what you needed.
So we're gonna pull some of this out like this, because I kind of like my signs to not float, but I don't. Let's see. This is inside. Here's my outside. Aha! I found Deco mesh that I missed.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. I found one. I was like, wait a minute, where's the mesh in this section? So let me just go and add this.
It happens.
It happened. I will double check to make sure I cut them all. I don't know how I ended up doing that. Probably because it was a beige pipe cleaner and it blended in with my mesh. Now it'll look better. There we go.
Just tuck it right inside.
Let me look just to make sure. And I got everything out, so I did cut one extra. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the bow. So before I add it, I generally will look, because I want it to be someplace that I don't have an awful lot of tails hanging in front. So I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner, and we are going to, whoops, we need this to not it's always a challenge to work your pipe cleaners in through jute mesh. For some reason, there will always be one piece that will wrangle itself around the tip of your pipe cleaner, and then you're like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I got it around a frame. So now we want to make sure that I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to tuck it down so that my ribbon will lay where I want it to. Kind of off to the side. Make sure we get everything all fastened. Let me take a look at that. From my point of view, still moving my Deco mesh down.
Yeah, Michelle, she can show at the very end. She says, can you show how the back is like tied together with all the pipe cleaners onto the form?
Mm-hmm.
So she can show you at the very end, Michelle.
Okay. I'm really fighting the spring. I'm going to move this back up. So I'm going to move it up so it's actually back where it was originally.
And Krista, yeah, she can show the cross at the end as well.
There's that one. Okay. Now I'm happy with where it's at. Okay. So when I show you the back side, remember the pipe cleaners for the sign and the bow are still there.
Yeah, she hasn't cleaned up the front
Yeah.
off yet.
You gotta make that all pretty on the back side too. So now we have everything where it needs to be. So let me show you. There you go. Does that look okay? Because you can see it instantly. For me, it's a little long. Okay. So right now, we're going to go through and add on the outside our ribbon tails. So these are the 2.5-inch ribbons cut to 14-inch pieces, and no rhyme or reason where they're going to start. I'm just going to start them in the outside 12 pipe cleaners. And I'm going to pull the ends towards the outside so that that kind of draws your eye around and away from the wreath. So we'll just go all the way around, alternating colors. So it's up to you. You don't have to do ribbon tails. You could do, you know, pair these together and do a crisscross like I've seen some people do. You don't have to put any ribbon at all around the whole outside. You could just embellish it with all artificial florals and greenery.
Sure, yes, the cross is on the UITC crossboard.
Yeah, the one that I did that wasn't on the Unique in the Creek board, that one sold because Dollar Tree, for some reason, just doesn't have them out yet.
Candace asks, do you ever cover the back of your wreaths with anything, or do you feel that it's not necessary?
No, I don't, because it gives the customer a couple options to hang. If you know the way that the Dollar Tree wreath frame is, you have about 4 different options how close you want to hang that. So I prefer the customer to have that option. And I've done this is going on my 4th year, and I've never covered them. I think the only time I've covered one, God, that's a long time, when we did, before the Christmas tree wreath frames, before Unique in the Creek had Christmas tree frames, we had to make those from scratch.
Yeah.
That was fun. Not.
No.
Yeah. And you had to do it out of a wreath, what is it, a wreath stand and skewers. And so that had a lot of stuff that I didn't really want the customer to see. So we did cover the back of that with nice felt, like a really thick felt, just because I didn't like looking at it. Okay.
But it's your choice. If you're making wreaths and you decide you want to cover the back.
Yeah, there's people who use, what is it, like the Dollar Tree round placemats. But then at that point, you have to incorporate a hanger on the back of your wreath so the customer knows where to hang it from. But I've had some customers like twist, like they might not want it straight up and down. They might want it off to the side. So that gives them that option. If I just gave them a single, they'd have to kind of modify that.
No, believe it or not, the bunny wreath behind her is on a regular Dollar Tree wreath form.
Yeah, I've had that bunny face for 2 years. And I was like, this is the year that Kat's going to take all that stuff and I'm going to make stuff with it.
She's got so many designs.
Yeah, we'll see. I would probably have to make a wreath every day.
Yeah, Tony got on and said, just got on, how pretty.
Thank you. Yeah, I fell in love with the sign after I had already cut all the materials, and I was like, but you know what? These colors work for the sign, so I'm good. I just have to recut the Deco mesh. So now I need to make another wreath with all the Deco mesh I cut.
Okay, it sounds like there's 2 gals that live close to each other.
Where at?
Marianne Dobbins and Katrina.
Nice.
Both live near Blairsville, Georgia.
That's awesome. I like it when you guys
So
find.
maybe you gals can meet up and become crafters together.
Yeah, you. Sometimes you have your bestie friend.
Yeah.
Right? That lives almost 3,000 miles away.
Yeah. 2,500.
Is that what it is? 2,300?
That's 25.
Yeah. You just never know.
Hi, Rosa. Earlier, David said, "Cat, so beautiful."
Thanks, Debbie.
So this 2.5 inches cut to 14 inches.
These are 14, yeah. And then the 1.5 inches are cut to 17. And sometimes I leave those cut at 18. But because I'm going to double a couple of them up, I cut them to 17.
Yep. So
now, You'll see I'm constantly refluffing the bow because you've got to get your ribbon tails underneath that. So then you need to readjust everything. And it'll get readjusted one final time once I remove the pipe cleaners from underneath. And then it'll lay better than how it's laying right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is the purple solid canvas and the, let me make sure I have enough pieces. 1, 2, 3. And am I like really off on my cutting today? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I am. These are cut to 17-inch pieces, and we're gonna do what's called the double bow with these. It's not really a double bow. It's more like a regular bow, but with 4 tails. So I'm gonna combine the colors. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So we're gonna take this, and if you guys have seen me long enough, a half bow is when I take the 1.5 inch ribbon and you start about 2 inches from the top. So it literally is 2 inches. Hold that in one hand. Once I get it actually pinched, do the same with the other.
Yeah, Nina, if you can wait till closer to the end, she'll show you the back, and then we'll show the cross wreath as well.
So we have both of these. So you're going to take them and you're going to blend them together. And then these are going to go on the purple. We have the purple. And then we're putting both of those in. And I'll show you once I get my pipe cleaner in. So right where it's pinching it is right where the pipe cleaner went. And so when I go to fluff, you are going to, here's your loop. You're going to open that up. Open this loop up. You're going to need to right side one of your ribbons. So you have a grand total of 2 tails here. And then 2 tails here. So it's just a more full ribbon that sits right over that purple gingham. Just like that. So we're going to do that on all the purple gingham. Okay. So mesh them together, and sometimes you can switch. You don't always have to keep them the same way. It's just sometimes, it depends on which one I stick in my hand. So I'm going to switch them so that they are opposite. It's just another design look. Open the loops. Fluff your tails.
Morel said very pretty. Thanks for showing this.
You're welcome. I'm just trying to show you just different things you can do, but you as the designer will always have the final say on what you like, you know, because some people stay stuck in that has to be this way. No, it doesn't. You can do whatever you want. There's no right and wrong way. This is from my bow. So I'm slowly getting that situated. In. And I'm going to switch these because we're going to go back. So I'm going to put them in the right hand so when I flip them, they're the right way to just alternate loops. There's that. there. Spin it. These take a while. Now you could just do a regular bow. I think we did that on Friday. We just did regular bow. Okay. Nope. Have to put them in the opposite hands. There we go. This way the pattern has a reason. Rather than have a customer go, look, on this side they did this way and that way. It's like, no, if you go all the way around, we alternated what we did. Just for more appeal.
And well, ruffle wreath is pretty much what you did here. So she cut her mesh for 20 inches for a ruffle wreath. And how many rolls of 10-inch do you use per wreath?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
If you cut it just a touch hair under 20 inches, like 19 and a half, that gives you one full roll of Deco mesh for a wreath.
And then I need to switch.
And then Christy, she does 2 private videos a week. One on Sunday at 3
And one on
p.m.
Monday.
Pacific, and then one on Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah,
So it's 4 a month. Oh, sorry, 8 a month.
Yeah.
8
Well, there's 4 design.
Right.
And then 4 business.
Right.
And then in August, it goes 8 design. We drop the business classes in August. And then it's full-fledged design. Because at that point,
fall, yeah.
Just before we're getting right into, tail end of summer. Because you need, at this point, you've done everything to get yourself ready for the busy season. And so you don't need any more business classes. You can go back and watch the tutorials as a refresher, but you should be, at that point, stocking your store and getting ready to be busy. Okay, last one.
And that's normally double what any of the other crafters do out there. Some of them only do 1 a week.
Well, and the wreath of the month is only going to be 1. Do these this way. So I'm looking at what I have right here. Finishing the pattern up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut. Done. This one's, we're halfway finished. A little bit more. The next ones won't take long at all to do. So this is just still taking that natural color. And I really need to get that ribbon out.
No problem, Myrtle. Just hate to repeat myself, but I've never seen this with the double bows and just love it. So pretty.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's almost not a double bow, but it's like single loops. So this is called a half bow, just because you just have 1 loop, and a bow has 2 loops. But then this one has 2 tails. So when these go in, and they're going to go in on top of the chevron, so it's going to go in right where I have my finger pinched, and then you're going to take these, and you're going to fan them out. And then open the loop. So it's kind of like an awareness ribbon. So these, what's wrong?
Christy asked, how much is the price for your private group?
It's $17 a month. And then you get discounts from all of the vendors that we have agreements with. Jane's Front Door Decor, 3 Birds Nests, Crinkle Designs, Shore Life Creations, and then there's more. So
plus the 4 business classes and the 4 wreath.
Plus all the tutorials from February of 2018 to current.
And all the material lists.
Yeah, you get materials lists for like this and all the privates.
But after February the 1st, the price is going up to $27 for new members only.
Yeah. So you can lock in your rate now. And then it never goes up unless you drop out and then come back. Okay, so we're gonna fan these out. So I'm just adding that, just that touch of the brown to pull the rabbit color into the wreath, because otherwise it just stays in the sign.
And then, I love all the color choices and I love the sign.
Thank you. I know, I love the sign too. And it was funny because I didn't even see the sign because I have my wreath frames hanging over it because I had got it at Christmas. So I'm like, well, I'll go through the frames before then. This is Christmas. I'm not going to need it right now. And then when I saw it today, I was like, oh, I have to use this one. This is super pretty. So now we're going to pull this.
Lena said the Wreath of the Month Club will be on one Friday a month at 5 p.m. No, it's a different Friday or a different day.
It's actually going to be the last Saturday of the month. And so what ends up happening for February's is the Wreath of the Month group will close for new members by February the 5th. And the reason we're doing that is to allow them to order the kits to make sure that by, I think it's Saturday, February 27th, you should have your kits in by the 22nd of February so that we can get the list out to you. You know, some people already know how to cut all their stuff, so it's like you can go to town and go ahead and get all your ribbon cut or all your Deco mesh cut. Or if you want to add additional embellishments, you can definitely do that. And then we'll do the class on the 27th. So, and then I'm always asked, do you have to buy the kit? No, you can just watch the tutorial and then the tutorial is yours to keep. And then you can decide, you know, in March, I think March is Ladybug. We're doing the Ladybug for transition spring to summer. So,
yeah, how much of a discount does a private group get? I think you're still figuring that out, right?
For what?
If they do the Wreath of the Month Club.
They get, well, it's all exclusive. All this stuff they get, the sign, the ribbons, you can't get them anywhere else. So we have entered into an exclusive deal that way. So this way, I don't have like 50 people, you know, all, like if everybody had the materials list for this and people followed the same thing, you would have multitudes of the same wreath going out. So allowing people to have some exclusivity that, like, if somebody goes, oh, I like that wreath, I want that, it's like, that this is the only one you have. So, and then the discounts, they vary depending upon the vendors. So,
in the private group.
In the private group, yeah.
Whereas the ribbons are cut to the 2.5 inch are cut to 14 inch, and 1.5 inches are cut to 17 inch.
Yes. Okay, now it's going to be time to embellish. To add that lavender into our wreath now that we've cut all the pipe cleaners out. So I am making sure all of this frames my sign. I'm going to make sure that it sits your wreath in there just perfectly. Now that I've done fidgeting and moving stuff around. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like right now. So this is the front.
Yep.
Oh, hold on a sec. I'm trying to like twist the pipe cleaners. Hold on a second. Because I only have like 3 pipe cleaners that are sticking out. And that's the sign and the bow. So let's see if I can tuck these in. Hold on 1 second. And then this way you can see what the back looks like, kind of when it's cleaned up.
Christy, no, she showed me how to do Deco mesh, wreaths, grapevines, evergreens,
Floral rings,
centerpieces,
door swags, teardrop swags.
bicycle rims,
Everything.
hoops,
Yep.
crosses,
Everything.
everything.
Okay. So this is what the back looks like. Ta-da! So see, this is what I'm saying. You can hang it here, you can hang it here, here, or up on the top. Or if you kind of want, when the customer puts it on the door, they might want it off to the side. See what I'm saying? Once you limit them with a single hanger, then they either have to modify it if they want it kind of off to the center. Like sometimes Steve likes his off, just tilted slightly. Okay, so florals. Really quick. Grab these. So you guys are probably seeing these now. The tulips are from Michael's. The lavenders from Hobby Lobby. This, I don't know what this bush is called. It's just a greenery bush, but it's in that purple palette. It was Hobby Lobby. And then the purple lilies are also from Hobby Lobby. So because the sign has lavender, because the ribbon has lavender in it, we really need to incorporate some of that. So I'm going to go around.
Christy, yeah, she also does help you set up your Etsy shop as well as your Facebook page if you want to as well.
Yeah.
Business page.
Okay. So I'm going to snap some of these off. And I'm going to take the lavender and put the lavender in with the lavender bow. So I'm just going to put glue on the end of my lavender. Make sure. And then I'm going to tuck this. And I'll actually adjust my lavender once it dries. So I'll show you what I'm doing right now. We're just adding little sprigs of lavender to the bow. I think I cut 6. And I'm just tucking them to the underside. We'll let that dry. Because this lavender is wired all the way through, so if you wanted to kind of bend it, kind of arc it, like the direction that lavender is on the sign, you can definitely do that. Going around. Okay. Couple more. I did. I cut exactly 6. Go figure. I think I want a little longer piece than this one. It came out kind of short. And now it's stuck. I know. It sticks on everything. Just the little sprigs of lavender. And then I'm gonna look at these. I just brought them in. I don't know if I want to add the florals or not.
Yeah, don't be scared to use florals with Deco mesh.
Well, florals and Deco mesh are really nice together. Hang on. Sometimes it's just a matter of pushing things around. So I'm kind of liking what it just did. So just hang tight. Just like so. Let me, I think I'm just gonna do so sometimes it's just a matter of like just play with it, just put things around the wreath. I think I want one that actually has 3, not 2. But then you can always borrow. Because I like the lighter lavender, not the darker purple. Pull those up. There we go. I like that. I think we'll do one more set. One more set.
Chrissy, she got started years and years ago making wreaths for family and friends, and then there's so many people who liked her stuff. She just continued to make more wreaths for family and friends, and then one day she just saw somebody online making wreaths on videos, and she said, I can do that.
Well, I've been doing that.
And then just started doing it.
You can do that for reals?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time, it was perfect. Like, God's timing is always perfect, so the transition was ideal. I had just finished homeschooling my youngest to where she graduated early. So it freed, like, I had nothing to do at that point. I'm like, okay, I've already homeschooled all my kids. Now what do I do? And I was a book reviewer for a lot of the big publishing houses. And then at that time, exactly, they had decided they weren't going to do print books anymore for reviewers. And I prefer to have a book in my hand.
And before that, she was a corporate trainer.
Yeah. See, God just takes your talents and in the right timing, He makes a way. So I'm just taking these and tucking them into the mesh up under the sign. So I'm just pulling out the bunches where I had them. Kind of cutting them down to where you don't have overly long pieces of your floral. And I just have them in these like weird places, strategically placed places around the wreath in 4 different areas. Because the bow technically makes the 5th. So if you're looking for reasons, you always work in odds, because odds, for some reason, they stand out to the human eye. So we just did the bow and then 4 clusters of different colored tulips. This one's way too long. Oh Lord. I can probably reach this from the other side. And I'm just, as I'm gluing these together, I'm gluing all the greenery that I pushed up so that that does not move around as we place this inside. And the nice thing is that, I think I already got that one. Yep. Deco mesh, when you adhere anything to it, like adding florals to it, it's got a netting to it, so when the glue dries, it just creates a perfect environment for everything to go to. So let's add a couple sprigs of lavender to our bow. We'll put it up and call it done. So, because we have all this really super nice lavender around, and then it doesn't feel so Easter. Like the other one was going to have eggs in it. And I was like, well, the eggs would still work with this one, but let's put one more. Just one more. So we have a trio. And these are just going under parts of our ribbon. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. Now I get all the glue off of it. Okay. I shall find more. Okay, here we go. Put these down. Okay. This one's up. Fix the half bow. So this will go up. I feel like I grabbed something. Make sure my door doesn't fall off. fall over. Okay. Is that right side up, Steve?
Yep.
Can you see?
Yep.
Okay. So there is, you've got to pull all your glue threads off from adding all your pieces of lavender. There we go. What do you guys think?
Stage page said nicely done. You're awesome. There's a lot of people giving it loves and likes. Thank you, gals.
Awesome.
Queens, I love it.
So,
Katrina, thank you, Cat Steve, love it.
what was I supposed to do? I did the back side.
Show the cross.
Oh, okay. Cross. Okay. So there's the cross.
Yep.
Was that the only other thing?
I think it's the only thing because you already showed the back.
Yeah. Okay. So do you guys have any other questions for me? There we go. Okay.
It's so cute, love the color, so pretty, beautiful. That's it.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. So that's it. If you're a private group member, we meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern Time, and we're doing Facebook 2.0. If you guys have any additional questions, you can always email me at KatsCreations777@gmail.com about anything. And that's pretty much about it. That's all I have. So I thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.